3,000 years ago, in the area now known as Liddle in South Ronaldsay, which is close to the famous Tomb of the Eagles, was inhabited by a group of people who were eking out a living in the hostile environment that they found themselves in. The folk who had built the earlier tomb had disappeared from the area some 2,500 years earlier and had enjoyed rich pickings in a much more favourable landscape. But now the climate had changed, and the folk who lived here in the later Bronze Age found life a much tougher prospect. These were the people who created the enigmatic structure known as the Liddle Burnt Mound, and Ronald Simonson, discoverer and excavator of the Tomb of the Eagles, gives regular interpretations of the site to visitors from all around the world. So, why don't we go along and join him as he gives one of his talks?
It was in 1957 that Ronnie Simonson found the Bronze Age site known as the Liddle Burnt Mound. It was excavated by the archaeologist John Hedges and a team of students from the Southampton University in 1974 and 1975. They discovered that the site consisted of two major parts: a rubbish tip or midden that contained a mixture of peat, ash and reddened stone. This was the remnant of a burnt mound. This mound surrounded a sheltered and well-preserved stone building with sections of an outer wall. This outer wall may have been used to store peat and keep it dry. Just inside the entrance of the building, a fireplace was discovered, and in the centre of the floor was a watertight stone trough. When this was excavated, it was found to contain burnt stone. Another key feature is the water system. This was fed by a spring which channeled water directly into the house from outside. Another channel close by may have acted as drainage during summer months. It is not until close inspection that the importance and significance of the water supply and trough become apparent. It would seem that hot stones taken from the fire had been placed in the trough in order to boil water that was taken from the spring. Could it be that the large trough was a cooking pot? And if so, why choose such an unusual manner in which to cook food? Ronnie speculates on these points during his talk and helps to explain the reasons why the people who lived here may have chosen to cook in such an unusual way.
This is the water system. That would have been the spring here at the time that they lived here. And they got an extra dike around the house, and that would be to keep peat in, keep the peat dry and insulate the house at the same time. There's a coloured stone there that goes underneath where the water comes in, and that would have been a draught excluder. When the wind comes in from the northwest, blows the wind right up in the house. This can be furnishing for beds around the sides. I think that they're designed to get you up early in the morning. They're a wee bit short, but they tell you they may have slept sitting up or crouched, short beds. This is Bronze Age in time, but there's no metal here still. It's just a carry on with Stone Age tools. This was cultivated on this fence 8 or 9 years ago, and I had occasion to gather the stones of the surface that came up.
The tools that Ronnie Simonson found varied in size and usage, and showed that although this was the Bronze Age, they were still using stone tools and the use of metals had not yet reached Orkney. This quern stone was used to grind grain. The smaller stone was used in a circular movement in the indentations of the larger stone. Another tool commonly seen in museums is this ard. It is probably a kind of digging tool and has indentations on the sides that make it comfortable and easy to grip during use. Another stone with indentations or grips on either side was this large boulder. It may have been used as a kind of hammer to break open bones in order to extract the marrow. Another suggested use is that it was a butcher's tool used for hitting ox on the head in order to kill them. This is only speculation, however, but it is not unknown for such stones to be used in this manner. This trough-shaped slab has probably been broken sometime in the past, and although its use is unknown, it has been speculated that the hollow in it may have been used to catch the blood from slaughtered animals. Despite the dramatic change in the environment that took place after the Neolithic, the people of the Bronze Age adapted new techniques and ways of using the resources that were available to them. The stone tools they used were virtually identical to those that had been used by their predecessors, but the architecture of the buildings had changed, and it seems that this may have been in part due to the lack of wood available to them and to the ingenious cooking methods they employed.
So, as we've managed to see, the people who came before had an easier life, but the people who came after in the later Bronze Age, their ingenuity helped them along, helped them to conquer this harsh climate and enabled them to survive.